Hello, hello. Good morning. All right. So, what do we have here? So, obviously, on the 4-hour time frame, I can see that price is respecting the fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame. Now, we do have a range from here to here. Now, so looks like we're going to be looking for sales today because I still believe that price can come lower, a little bit lower. I don't know if price is going to, sweep those lows today, but I think it all depends on this 4-hour candle closure, because if price does close below this range, then obviously I will most likely look for some sells. So because price is touching the, fair value gap and the 50% of it, it did respect it. Now price is inside the range currently from here to here. So, and price closing back inside range. So let's see how this 4-hour candle closing. Now on the daily, obviously, we still have this range to fill. On the weekly, we did not sweep exactly the sell side liquidity. We came very, very close to it, right, yesterday, and we did not go through it. So let's see if price can do that. So I'm gonna wait for this 4-hour candle closure, and then with the new 4-hour candle, I will see if price can touch any of the PDRAs, and then we'll see. We'll see how low this candle will go, because price did not retrace like too much to the upside. So I don't know if it's going to be enough for price to retrace that much and then push all the way to the downside. So let's see how this 4-hour candle closing. Or maybe the sells are missed already, right? Because as you can see, what price did is price in London session did sweep the Asian session high, At the same time, it did touch the fair value gap, and now you're just pushing down. So maybe um, I'm not gonna get myself because price is moving already. So let's see. Let's see. So we have a 50% of the range around these levels. So around here. So let's see. So even though if the cells whereas the cells where makes sense is after price closed below here. Now on the lower time frame, we obviously could have taken the cells from somewhere here, right after this candle did close below here. So this is the breaker now, so you could take the trade from here. Because price did manipulate a 4-hour candle high, price touching the bearish fair value gap, bearish PDRA supporting the narrative to the downside. So if you would look on the 15 minutes, obviously you're looking after the candle closing here, you would look for the sells from this candle, so somewhere here, stop loss above here. Now your first take profit is at a 50%, and then obviously you're targeting the lows of the day of the previous candle. So that would be good trade, but again, it happened prior to my session, so it is what it is, right? And I want to see how this candle closes, then if the next candle can continue to the downside, we'll see if there will be any setup formed for me to take these sells. Also, you could if price would go to the 50% with a strong candle, then reject it, you can potentially look for a buys, because what you have here, you have a rejection block here. So it just depends how price does react at those levels. And those buys would be just because I would love to see price coming back to these levels, and then from there it could go lower, or even it could come higher. So because, as I said, we are extended so much to the downside right here, that I don't know if this pullback is enough for price to continue to the downside, but we'll see. But as you can see, price do support the bearish narrative from the daily right now on the weekly price as well. Even though price already pushed a lot to the downside, price is still bearish, right? Yesterday, obviously, there was amazing buys. That was at the end of the session, and after price did sweep the sell side liquidity, price created a CRT and pushed to the upside and sweep the range high. Now after price did sweep the same range high from yesterday, now price couldn't close above it, right? Price kept closing back inside the range and supporting the fair value gap from the 4-hour time frame. Now on the daily as well, you can see that price closed bearish. We have the range to the downside, and there is a high probability that price will fill that range after the buy side liquidity is swept, touched into the key level. So everything aligned for you to take the trade from here, or on the 15 minutes from here. Also, we have some Yeah, we have news, but we'll see. '96, '96. From '96. Yep. Here. Well, it's just because I was looking at the FXCM chart yesterday. I did not see this candle formation, and the price was at key level. So basically, the buys like made sense because you were pushing down the whole session. Now you're not expecting for price to keep pushing down, right? After the sell side liquidity is swept, at least in that in that timing in that session. But I was looking at the FXCM chart and I didn't see this. This is clearly the CRT because you had the key level, you had the range to trade, and then price swept the sell side liquidity from here. Right here you had inversion fair value gap right here. Now all you could do is just take the trade from this inversion fair value gap and then place your stop loss below the low and eventually target the high. Obviously 50% of the range first, which is what would be 1 to 3 risk reward. This is how I would do, right? And then eventually target the opposing side of the range. So but as I said, I was looking at the FXCM chart yesterday. You remember that probably, and the chart was different. There was no CRT, right? Because I was looking at this range, there was no CRT. Price just on this chart, price just pushed to the upside. So and in here you can see clearly that this was a CRT setup for the upside. Also, I was looking at my broker yesterday, and my broker shows me the same chart as a one this one Oanda. So I was thinking that most likely you should look at your broker's you know how your broker chart is looking. All right, 5 more minutes. And with this candle closure from 5 a.m. Now, what you would expect? Obviously, you would expect for price to continue lower, right? So let's see how this candle opens, right? And if I see the potential entry confirmation. So let's see how this candle closes. to high or the low of the daily to here the high. What do you mean to go to the high or the low of the daily? Because I think that still price will come down, because at this point how price is looking, that London made the high of the day by creating this after by manipulating the Asian high. Now price did touch the key level, so 5 p.m. did continue. So what would you expect from the New York session? So in my opinion, price will go down first. Maybe later price, maybe after sweeping the sell side liquidity, price will go up. But I think still that price may come down lower. Yeah, that's fine. This is good. looks like price can continue from this fair value gap here. So yep, so as you can see, price did close 4-hour candle as a bearish one, back inside the range. Price do not close above the range, so means that price most likely to go down. Now the first target is going to be the 50% of the range, so I'm not in this trade. Okay, so this is just continuation to the downside. So I did not. I did not entered any positions, my friend. Because as I have mentioned, like I want to trade, either from the range high or range low. So whenever price is pushing already, and I just and you're just going to enter at a half of the range, so that's fine. Where would you enter in the trade? Now, as you can see, that price did open at this price. Price pushed up, made the wick for the 4-hour candle, at the same time touching the fair value gap on the 5-minute time frame, and from there price just kept pushing down. So if you're looking for the trades like this, then yeah, you can take them, but for now, let's see how price does. If price comes up, sweeps the liquidity and then shows me willingness to go down, like something like this, then obviously I may take the trade, but not here. So let's see. So if you ask me, the trade I would take is like on the 4-hour time frame, like it was yesterday, okay, when price were pushing down, and I would enter at the low of the range and target the high of the range. Now today you can see this is just the continuation in New York session after price already did sweep the range high, manipulated the highs, and then price eventually pushed down. Maybe I could enter somewhere here, as I said, like from here, from these levels here on 15 minute. I would enter right here because we have the market structure shift. Now I would place my stop loss above the highs. I would target the 50%. Now on the 5-minute time frame, if I would see this set up, then I would in London. This is a London session. You had a price sweeps the buy side liquidity. Now you have the fair value gap here, so you could enter from this fair value gap. Now this is where I want to enter, not in the like already distribution phase, which is like in the middle of the range, right? So I would either enter somewhere here, somewhere here, or somewhere here. This is too low for me to enter for sales. Okay, even though I know that price is most likely to continue down, but I just don't want to enter right here because you can see the difference when you enter here, and you can see the difference when you enter here, and also you can see the difference when you enter somewhere from these levels. Okay, so this is how I would how I would want to enter this trade, but right here, I don't want to enter this trade from here, even though I know that price most likely to push lower, because the higher time frame suggests that price may go lower. Now on the daily as well, look at the daily is flipped. Now price is just pushing to the downside. Okay, so yeah, and if price would have done something like this with the new 4-hour candle, price would come here, then it would do something like this. Then obviously I can take the sells, with the stop loss above these highs, and then target to the downside. Something like this, yes, I would consider, but taking sells from here. Um, you can put your high above these highs, your stop loss, or you can just place your stop loss above the fair value gap, which is on the 5 minutes right here. So this is also the possibility, but I just don't do this. All right. Is it clear? Now, what I would rather to do is I would rather wait for price, to push to the sell side liquidity, then create mid range, and then just look for the buys. Because at this point, to look for sells for me, at this point, I don't want to look for sales, because for me the good entries are missed. I mean, this is not maybe a bad entry, but I just don't want to enter. Okay, so, and it is what it is. Yesterday you had an entry to the upside. Today, the entry was in London session. So, you know, good morning. So the 50% of the range is almost hit. As I said, the only possibility for you to enter from here was this, fair value gap from here, and you could have targeted the 50%. But as I said, this is the 4-hour candle open. The wick was, uh, the price just continued to the downside, because from 4-hour you can see that price did close back inside the range. Now also at the same time touch the 4-hour 4-hour fair value gap, and then price continued down, and the 5 a.m. candle on the 4-hour time frame closed as a strong bearish one, indicating that the most likely the next candle will push to the downside. Now for me, what I was waiting for, or how would I take this trade, is if price would have came back a little bit higher, and then potentially look for continuation to the downside. So this is where I would execute the trade. But because as I said, the good trades are happened before my session from this level right here. So from this level right here, with the highs above, with the stop loss above the highs, with the first target of a 50% of the range, and then eventually target the opposing side of the range. Now where would I take another trade is on the 5-minute. If I would be there, there was after price did sweep the buy side liquidity, price pushed to the downside, created the fair value gap, and then price did push down from here with a stop loss above. The first target is obviously 1 to 2, somewhere here, 1 to 2, and then you're targeting the 50% of the range. So this is where I would enter, but there happened prior to my session, so that's why I did not enter the trade. Yeah, I mean, I think that there is no trade for me today. Well, obviously because price is already pushing down, already had its move, already the TP1 hit. So so if you guys are waiting for the trade, I might upset you, but I think there is no trade for me today, because as I said, like, you already had the trade running. You should be already in the trade, you should be already securing the profits, right? Now, for me to take buys, I mean, it's a lot has to happen. So, so I think that I'm not gonna have trade today. Like as I said yesterday, there was a trade, yeah, but today there is no trade. I mean, there is trade, but you would have already secured like most of your position. I mean, I would secure most of my position, right? And then Alrighty. So yeah, we have news in 10 minutes roughly. The main thing, if you miss the trade and it wasn't in your session, then there is nothing to worry about because you know that when it comes in your session, you have to execute the trade, right? So, and nothing you can do with that. I mean, if you wanna really if you want to really trade, then you can take anything in, right? Alright, so 3 minutes until 10 a.m. As I said, I'm probably not gonna take any trades today because the trade I would want to take is missed already, right? Because even though if you would want to take the buys right from this level, this range, which is right here in the bearish market, after the price did hit the 50% of the range, which is your key level, I would still want for price to go, you know, above this level first before I would think about any buys. So the range would be this, and the risk to reward is like, you know, even if you enter from here, then your stop loss here, you're looking for this and then eventually this buy side liquidity. But as I said, the sells I would want to take is missed already, so most likely I will not take any trades today. Let's see if we have any, if what price does whenever there is a news out. So most likely, guys, if you did not take any sells today, then I think there is nothing to look for, because the sells is what you have been looking for today, with a, you know, with the price action we had here above at the key level of the 4-hour fair value gap, and you know, London sweeping the Asia high. So, or with the 5 a.m. candle, you know, you could have looked for the sells as well after a market structure shift on the 15-minute time frame, which is right here. After this candle closed down below this level, now you can look for shorts from here, from this candle, stop above the previous highs. Now you're targeting the 50% of the range first, and then eventually you're just leaving your trade to run until the opposing side of the range if you took this entry from here. Now if you were trading London, then most likely you had a trade from here. Price did sweep the buy side liquidity. Now price pushed pushed to the downside, created a fair value gap right here. This was a 4 a.m. New York time, and you could have entered from this level here with a stop loss above the highs, and targeting the 1 to 2 hour first, and then eventually you target the 50% of the range, and then eventually you targeting the opposing side of the range. But this happened not in my session, so nothing I can do, guys, really. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Yesterday you had at 9 a.m. candle, you had a you had a manipulation at a key level after sell side liquidity sweep, and you had the range to trade. So that's why you could have entered the trade right here at 10 a.m. Now today, the price action set up for London, so there is nothing you can do about it. So that's why most likely I am not gonna have any trades today, because the good entries are gone already. So So I'm looking how price is going, what are the price going to do here, because as you can see that price did close above the recent short-term high, and if price can close down below, then eventually uh, price is going to continue to the downside, because as I said, we still have targets to the downside. So, and this is also the new 1 hour candle, which did go to the upside, sweep the previous 1 hour high. So let's see. Well, you have to just look how the price setups here, because you know if price um, still respects this level, then there is no sells. On the 15 minutes, yeah, on the 15 minutes actually, you could have tried the sells from here. You're correct. I just want to see how the lower time frame looks like. So I have 20 more minutes, and we'll see how price does set up in 20 more minutes. Yep, you can try. I think I'm not gonna take any trades today. And obviously I would wait for you to see if price going to sweep the buy side liquidity up here, because at this point, you know, price did sweep the previous candle low on the 4-hour time frame. Also, price did touch the 50% of the range, which can be used as the key level. And as you can see now, prices almost hit the 50% of the range. So you have to look how price does react at this level now, because price might go you know, higher to this buy side liquidity. It's just because it all depends on how this you know, also 1-hour candle close. Because if it does close above the previous candle range, then obviously price may continue to the upside, because it will support the 4-hour candle as well as 4-hour candle pushing to the upside, right? So at this point I'm not taking any trades, so whatever trade you took, buys or sells, so congratulations to you. I did not take any trades today, so let's hope tomorrow will be another day and there will be new opportunities. So yeah, uh, I hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one tomorrow. Bye bye.